You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. Right, we're going to be talking all about Turner's Art Lot. Firstly, thank you very much for talking to us once again. It's been a while. I was hoping you could introduce yourself first of all.
Yeah, I'm Nikki Coppins. I co-run Turner's Lot. We're a smallish community art group based in Sheerness. We've been running for about 6 years now, and that's really, we're a mixed bag. Everyone does a bit of mixed media. We've got felters, we've got airbrushers, we've got watercolourists, oil painters. So,
how often do you meet up?
We meet every fortnight on a Monday evening at Trinity Church Hall in Sheerness.
So when you meet up, do you have people coming along doing different workshops, or do you all work on your own stuff?
We mainly work on our own stuff, and it's kind of more of a social evening where we bring our work along, share ideas, gain tips, and just hang out together.
So what have you been up to as a group recently?
We did a show at the Sheerness Gateway. There was 7 of us showing, and today we're here at Love Sheppey.
So are things going fairly well then?
They're going really well, yeah. We're looking for new members. There's a regular 7 or 8 of us, but we are looking for new people if anyone wants to come down.
Well, how can they actually contact you if they'd like to find out?
We have a Facebook page, and we're on Twitter, or you can email us. If I can remember the email, it's turnerslot@hotmail.co.uk.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a little update on Turner's Art Lot.
No, that's no problem.
We're continuing to talk to people at Love Sheppey. We're next going to be talking all about the Kent Wildlife Trust. Firstly, would you be able to introduce yourself for me?
Yep, hello, my name is Nigel. I work for Kent Wildlife Trust, and we are here today promoting Kent Wildlife Trust, which is one of 47 trusts across the country. Kent Wildlife Trust is one of the biggest of the wildlife trusts in the country, and we own and manage over 60 nature reserves, some of the best wildlife habitats in Kent. We are very well supported by over 1,000 volunteers, and we have 30,000 members who support us. We also work really hard with farmers to try and encourage them to look after the wildlife on their farms, and work with the public, encouraging them to increase the wildlife in their gardens. We're a membership organisation, and we couldn't do the work we do without the support of our 30,000 members across the county, and we're here today trying to promote the Kent Wildlife Trust and hopefully encourage people to come and join us.
Do you have a website or contact details where people can find out a bit more?
We do have a website, and if anyone is interested in looking at our website, it is www.kentwildlife.org.uk, and our phone number is 01622 662 012.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time out and telling us a little bit about the Kent Wildlife Trust.
Okay, thank you very much, and hopefully people will come and join us. Thank you.
So we are at the moment continuing to catching up with people at Love Sheppey. And next we're talking all about the Isle of Sheppey Camera Club with Tony. Firstly, could you tell us a little bit about the club?
Yes, we're starting a new season on Wednesday, the 3rd of September, at a new venue, Castle Connections, over at Queenborough. First evening is going to be a print evening, so we're hoping to attract some new members there. We meet fortnightly through till April. So, as I say, we're looking for new members, and hopefully we'll get a few from the Queenborough sort of Rushington area. We alternate prints and digital images, projected digital images, and quite a few of our evenings we have competitions. But we're only down to a few members now, so we're I won't say we're desperate for new members, but we would welcome a lot of new members. We give we don't actually give tuition, but at the same time, there's enough experience in the club to give people advice if they've got problems with a camera or photography in general. So there's plenty of advice to be given there.
So it's a great chance for everybody to share their knowledge and learn together rather than sort of someone teaching them how they should do it.
Well, that's right, yeah. What we normally do, the first part of the evening, is we put up the images, whether it's print or digital, and then we mark them, have a cup of tea, and then second half we talk about the images. So effectively either pull them to pieces or praise them to hell, yeah. But it's that interaction, because everyone's got a different opinion about an image. Spiders, for instance, some people like spiders, others don't. Some people, cringe at the sight of a spider, even the picture. But you've got to look at the picture on merit and its quality. So, most of our competitions are. There are no themes. The competitions are open to any subject, landscape, portrait, whatever. So there's something for everybody, really.
So have you got any exhibitions coming up?
Yes, we've got a forthcoming print exhibition at the Sheerness Gateway from the 6th of September to the 11th of October. Again, that will be a wide-ranging subject matter. And it's our annual. I think this is our 4th year. So that's going to be quite an event. Be 31 images all together, and quite a wide range of subject matter.
And is that a mixture of digital prints from, I assume, high quality printers and actual traditional photography prints?
Very few of our members actually print a la film. Virtually everything is digital now. Either they print on their own printers or send away to a mail order and get their prints that way. It's quite inexpensive, actually. It probably costs more for postage than it does for an A3 image. But virtually all of the prints will be digitally printed. And as I say, quite a wide range of subjects.
I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time out to tell us a little bit about the club.
No problem at all. And as I say, we hope for a few more members. Thank you.
So we're next going to be talking to Julie, and we're going to be catching up with her, because the last time we spoke we were at the Gatehouse Museum and you were just kind of starting your timeline mural, I think.
Yeah, we were, yes we did, and you went up onto the roof as well, didn't you, Daniel?
Yeah, it was a
really
nice day.
It's moved on considerably, obviously, since I last saw you. We're actually, Anna and I are just bringing together the final bits now together, just touching finishes, really, and all the little artefacts boxes have all been done now, so it's all systems go, really. And very nervous, of course, the opening shot to the show. So, but it went well. It was a very challenging job. Obviously, a 12th century stairwell and spiral. So not a lot of room to work on, really.
No, but quite a big space. 'Cause I remember thinking that's a lot to cover, actually.
Yes, it was a big area, and but there was so much history on the island. Believe it or not, I went through with obviously the people that curate the museum. And initially, the idea, there was so much that we had to go through and sort of edit a lot. We were going to have this or that or picture of this, and then think, no, that's not going to fit. So it was very challenging to try and get major things that we think are of importance to local people, really. So we'll see. There was things chosen, so we've got lots of things there to look at.
Oh, but it's nice to see more or less there now as well.
Yes, yeah. It is a relief, actually, for Anna and I. We've had to go and work through the night a few times, and the last time we worked through the night, there was a big storm, and it was thunder and lightning flashes, and we really enjoyed it, actually. But yeah, we've enjoyed doing it, I have to say, even though it has been an extremely challenging piece of artwork. The environment is challenging, should I say. But no, we're almost there now, so, well, we better be, because it opens next week.
I was going to ask you about that. Could you tell the listeners a little bit about the opening and how they can see it?
It opens on the 30th. It's at 11 o'clock is the official opening, which is being opened by Gordon Henderson, the MP. I believe he's cutting the ribbon, saying a few nice words, we hope. And then it's sort of going to be open all day, for people to come up and view and see, and I think there's some other artists going to be exhibiting some work as well, so we're sort of making a bit of a fanfare, should I say, that's better, fanfare of it all, making an event to it opening, and so if anybody wants to come along, please come along and join us in our opening and see what you think of the work, really. It's Anna and I have tried to do it. We obviously started off down with the Roman era and Neolithic stones, and then the Romans, and then through the medieval, and then working its way up through the timeline. And we've tried to keep the artwork as specific to that time. So some of the horses at the very early part look like they've got little stumpy legs, but that's how they used to draw their horses in the medieval times. And we've tried to keep it to what you would see at that sort of time as well. So yes, so we've got King Canute, who's arriving on horseback and visiting Shurland Hall, which was then a wooden structure. It wasn't brickwork when he visited, but it was there nonetheless. So there's a lot of history and a lot of fun to be had to see.
It certainly sounds worth seeing. Thank you very much for catching up, and it's good to catch up with you here at Love Sheppey as well.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's been an amazing day, and Laurie has worked extremely hard on behalf of all of us artists, and created this wonderful event, and it's amazing. There's so many different people here with lots of different talent, I think this event's just going to get bigger and bigger each year, and we're going to have people international probably. I don't know. She's worked really hard. It's a big pat on the back for Laurie, and a big thank you from us, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But we are continuing to catch up with artists here at Love Sheppey. We're next going to be talking to another artist. I'm going to ask if you could introduce yourself to our listeners firstly.
Hi, I'm Claire Witt. I make metal accessories, art and sculptures from recycled metal, and today I'm displaying a fashion installation at Love Sheppey.
So how did you get started into doing this?
I left school at 15 to enrol in an engineering course at Minster College, and then I went on to welding, where that's been my career for the last 12 years. I work full-time as a welder over in Sittingbourne, working on MOD type projects as a coded welder and fabricator, and I do all this in my spare time.
So what sort of things inspire you?
Oh, mythology, goddesses, superheroes, it's all of, empowerment and kind of Thor and Marvel and everything.
So you're here at Love Sheppey. Could you tell us a bit more about some of the other things you've been doing recently?
May I showcased at Selfridges in Oxford Street in their old hotel as a part of Make Good, because I was enrolled in the School of Creative Startups for Kent. We done a 4-day showcase there, which was very intense but great experience in such a beautiful building. I did another fashion installation there as well, very similar to this, but with a full metal dress hanging down from it and huge headpiece, all made out of metal spoons.
So if our listeners would like to find out more, do you have a website or a way of contacting you?
Our website is www.clairewitt.com, and I'm also on Facebook as Claire Witt. It's WHITT.
I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time out to tell our listeners a little bit about your work.
Thank you very much.
So we are continuing to talk to people here at Love Sheppey, and we've moved along to the next stand. So firstly, thank you very much for talking to us. Hoping you can introduce to our listeners your stand.
Yes, I'm Georgina. I'm here with the Elmley National Nature Reserve, which is, as you go over the bridge, it's the large piece of land you see on your right, and it's a National Nature Reserve and a working farm.
So how long has that been there?
It's been here. Well, it's been farmed since Anglo-Saxon times, but it's been a National Nature Reserve for the last 20 or so years, and we farmed it for about the last 40 years.
There's lots of pictures up on display, so I was hoping you could tell our listeners a bit more about that.
We're a really popular place for wildlife photographers. We get there's huge amounts to see, and we do get a lot of people taking snaps of hares, for example, because they come right up to the car and you can get really close to them. And we also now run courses for photographers with Robert Canis, who's a wonderful photographer, so people can come and have tuition here as well.
So is there anything else you'd like to sort of tell us about?
Yes, and we can now stay the night. So it's the only place in the UK that you can stay the night in a nature reserve, and it's on our very own Sheppey. And so it's wonderful. We've got these beautiful shepherd's huts, which are really warm and cosy, and you can just wake up to most wilderness experience.
So does it have to be open for somebody to come along, or is it just open all the time for people to do walks and that kind of thing? How does that work?
We're open 6 days a week, closed on Tuesdays, and we're open 8 till 8 in the summer, and just come and use the facilities.
So it's always manned for people to find out more if they go along?
Yes, one of us will normally around. As it's a working farm, there's always someone around doing some work on the farm, or our contact details are available if someone got any questions.
Well, that's what I was going to ask next. Do you have a website where listeners could have a little look?
Yes, it's www.elmleynaturereserve.co.uk, or you can look for us on Facebook under Elmley, which is ELMLEY.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time out to talk to us.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
We are continuing to go around. We're talking to different artists here at Love Sheppey. We've stopped at the next stand. Firstly, thank you very much for talking to us. I was hoping you could introduce yourself to our listeners firstly.
My name's Georgia Wyver. I'm a felt maker and I live in Minster.
Okay. How did you get started in making felt?
Originally, I was inspired by an exhibition I saw about 1984, something like that. And for a long time, I wasn't able to find anyone to teach me. But eventually, about 8 years ago, I met Di Buttonshaw, who also lives on the island. And she taught me how to make felt. And I've been doing it since.
So what is actually involved in making felt?
It's a simple process, really, and it involves wool fleece, which is just in the form of fluff, and soap and water, and a fair bit of manual labour. But you can incorporate all sorts of other things into it. You can add pieces of lace or silk fibres to make it shiny, all sorts of things. And you can make it into flat forms or three-dimensional forms. It's very versatile.
Well, it looks almost quite strong, because you think it's felt of being quite soft, but some of the pieces here, I mean, there's like a almost very tall vase shape that, you wouldn't think felt necessarily being able to do that.
No, it depends partly on the type of wool that you use, but mainly on the quantity and the amount that you work it. And the harder you work it, the firmer it will become, and the more it will stand on its own.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time out to talk to us.
You're very welcome. Have a good day.
Thanks. So at the moment we're continuing to talk to artists here at Love Sheppey. We've next caught up with Nicole Mullett. So Nicole, it's good to speak to you. I was hoping you can tell us a little bit about what you're doing here today and what all these lanterns are about.
Yes, my pleasure. Right, so I am doing a project called The Art of the Magic Lantern. And this is something I'm doing through my organisation Island Projects, which is Sheppey based, and I've been doing independent projects on Sheppey since 2004, and this is our latest venture. It's a performative artwork, but we're also, for today, so that it's more engaging for the public, we're running lantern slide painting workshops. So people here have been coming to us and looking through our books of fantastical images, and that's anything from monsters to sea creatures to beautiful patterns, and we're getting them to paint directly onto these small glass slides their image of their choice. And then what we're doing here inside this tent is we've got one of the traditional magic lanterns, and we're projecting them inside the tent with as much darkness as we can create in the middle of a sunny day on Sheppey, so that they can actually see their slide that they've just painted. So this is a little bit to promote the project generally, because there are going to be some performances coming up, but it's also just to get people to enjoy the magic lantern and all the wonders that it can show and tell.
I guess I was just thinking kind of a forgotten thing, because to me it's like when we were little kids we might get our slide projector and show slides, but now it's all digital and on a telly or on an electronic projector, so it's
we've had quite a few people actually coming up to us today, and the first thing they said was, I remember that, I did that at school or at Sunday club, and there's something very nice, because in this digital age where everything is electronic or on emails, I think personally I find I'm very much attracted to things that aren't digital, and you can see how it works, and it's and it's practical and it's hands-on, because I'm quite I spend a lot of my working life writing emails, designing websites or designing postcards and everything, and in a way I think creativity is not that the digitalness is not useful, obviously it's brilliant, but there's something about the simple nature of traditional ways of presenting visual arts that's actually quite appealing, and I think it's having a bit of a comeback because of all the digital stuff that's out there, and magic lanterns are spectacular, especially when you know how to use various different devices and props. We do things like dual projection, we use sound effects, we have mechanical slides, so things that move within the device, and there's something very charming about seeing these images and falling in love with the fantasy element to them, yet knowing that they're not real and they are actually artworks in their own right, rather than some sort of CGI mastered thing that looks like a photograph. I think there is a certain appeal to that aesthetic, I think. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. But we have had a really positive response today. I was expecting to perhaps have one person at a time painting a slide, and at certain times we had about 3 or 4, because there were so many people who just wanted to have a go, and they really liked the idea that they could take this slide home and then either display it on their mantelpiece or hang it in a window so that it was backlit. So yeah, it's been a really positive day actually. And yeah, for those of you who would like to find out more about the project and perhaps come to one of our performances, we've got a website, and that is www.artofthemagiclantern, all one word, .co.uk. But you can actually find the link to that website on my website if you go to my name, which is quite easy to Google. So yeah, that's it. If you would like to come, the performances are all free, mostly in the evening, but they are for families as well as adults. It's not specifically designed for children, but it's very appealing to them because obviously all the monsters and the fantastical stories, but it's also actually for an adult audience, and there's a lot of comedy and historical knowledge within them. So there you go, that's the project. Thank you, Daniel.
No, thanks as always for letting us know how you're getting on.
Cheers. All right, speak to you soon.